Well, it is August 21st, and for many of you, that should ring a bell, right? Oh, my camera is on nitro. Oh, sorry. Okay. Um, that means yen pairs should be going higher anytime soon, anytime moment. And if you're here for the millionth time, my name is Evan. Well, we'll try to figure something out during this stream. Um, I am gonna propose my proposal for this for going forward. Whatever I'm saying is not an investment advice whatsoever, and you can do your own thing. I don't care. I'm just gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, and then we can kind of discuss. We can kind of discuss, and we can kind of agree what we are supposed to be doing. In the end of everything. So, should you, would you, do you? I don't know what you do, or what you don't do, or what you could do, and all of that thing. But it is fun, right? So we're two people right now. That is great. I love that. So my proposal to you is that yen pairs are supposed to go higher. Now, I just want to make a comparison, and then it's up to you if you think I'm crazy or if you think that I am absolutely right in my mind. So this is current, right? This is Aussie yen 1 hour chart, or for that matter, 4 hour chart, where we have a bottom around 5th of August. If I go to like a reputable page that I normally go to, and I go to Season X, and I go to we go to, what do you call it in English? Was it Aussie yen? Yeah, cool. We go to Aussie Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Hello, Joe. And I say, okay, we should have a bottom around 23rd of August. We're near that as a couple of 2 days. And then if I say, well, this is an election year, what should happen there? Well, around 5th of August should be a bottom. And then we should have another bottom around 23rd of August. That is just 2 years or 3 years, but give or take, it doesn't change much if I just do 2023 instead. So my point is 23rd of August. And when is 23rd of August? That is Friday? Friday. Okay, so if I say that we are supposed to be, in the past 10 years, we are supposed to be, we are supposed to have a bottom or some kind of pullback around 23rd of August, 25th of August. Okay, that would be Friday or Monday. If I say that's going to be a bottom, should I be buying Japanese, Australian dollar, Japanese yen? Well, it all depends. David says, "Oh, my pound seasonality has kind of been blown out of the water." Yeah, it is. And seasonality on dollar pairs and pound hasn't been very aligned, if that's the word I can use in English. But okay, we go back to 2020. Because if I can go 2020, I can go replay, and I go do that, and then I place you there, and then I place the other one, trading view, over here, and I place you here, and we probably figure something out by the end of it, I guess. So say this one should be current Australian dollar, Japanese yen, and we go down to like, well, we can do 4 hour for that matter, doesn't really matter, but let's do 1 hour. And then we do 1 hour, and then you are August 14th, and then you are there. I'm just asking, hypothetically, right? Is there any similarities here? That's what I look for. I look for similarities. Okay, let's check. There is one high here, 7th. That is 12. But okay, cool. Whatever. That is 4 hours. That doesn't work, does it, at all? Nope. It has to be the same time frames. Cool. Let me try. Maybe that didn't work as much as I wanted to, but it is okay. Whatever. So, let me do some peeking. I do current. That is 15th. Let me take that away. 15th, 19th. 20th, or Thursday, Monday, Tuesday. We now have a low on Wednesday. And then I don't know if that makes any sense, but there's a peak like 12. So 2020 we had a peak around 11th. That is wrong. So thank you very much, sir. Around 11th, we had a peak at 12 Wednesday, 13, Monday 17, Monday 19. Okay, all those two the same. Relatively 2 peaks before. Okay, then we have a low, give or take 18th, which becomes 9, which doesn't correspond this year because Tuesday this year, it was a peak. And then that is the Wednesday, and that is where we are at the moment, making a peak. And that peak that year made almost a new higher high. That's why I am trying to propose to you that I'm not going to chase this one higher. Current, by the way, that is 2020. I can chase it and say, okay, if we make a higher high, we're going to continue higher, and that's probably going to be the case. But in any case, and other cases, I need to wait until when. So if this one fits, like a glove, that is the peak, that is 19th of August, and this one fits like a glove, like 21st of August, that means Wednesday and Wednesday. That means that we are needing to wait until Friday's to bottom and Monday to buy. That means that my proposal for 2024 is that we are going to have some kind of fall from now, and if it doesn't happen, I don't care. I just want a lower price. I just want to find not any plan, but many plans that I will say, okay, this is going to go to falling. Fall down a bit more before we buy. Because why does that matter to me? Because at the current, if I say that the bottoms should be around 97, that is a good 138 pips. And I can kind of have that as a plan. I like that to be a plan. Like in my world, like like I can have that as a thing. Cool. So if that makes me save 138 pips, I'll do that. And then that goes across for all the other yen pairs. I might be wrong about some, I might be right by somebody. And then I was told this morning that somebody bought euro yen. And my message to those are good luck. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that I wouldn't do that myself personally. I have to say that. So going forward is I believe that the trading for the Japanese yen and the Swiss pairs, it also covers for Swiss pairs, by the way, is that I don't want to buy yet. And what does that mean? If you go back to, let's say, New Zealand Swissy for the fun of it, I haven't tested that one yet. If I say that we are on the floor, please. Yes, sir. If I say that we are going to have a bottom somewhere around 24th of August, and then I'm telling you that we are going to go really quickly higher. And then I'm going to tell you that if you then choose to, If you then choose to trade, let's say that you already figured out that you're going to trade that direction. How are you going to get in? For 2020 or for 2016, for that matter, daily entries doesn't work out. The 1 hour 21 EMA may work, but it already has like 63 pips in deficits already by the time you're thinking, oh, it's actually making higher highs. So this kind of scenario that I'm presenting to you is very aggressive, high risk, high reward. Don't do if you haven't ever done it before. And I'm just presenting you with what can potentially happen. It doesn't need to happen. It's just in my mind. But if you are prepared for price action going rapidly higher, very quickly, very fast, what is your rules of engagement? What is your thing, right? So if you sit here and you are, Emmanuel says, I took a Euro Aussie buy, but I don't feel safe. Okay, I'm just going to do that. Thank you very much, Manuel, for saying that. Um, okay, okay, okay. Can I give you my opinion on it? Am I allowed to give my opinion on it? Do you want my opinion? Because it's very easy. It's very straightforward. Um, yeah. So by the time I'm waiting for that response is for Aussie New Zealand for New Zealand Aussie New Zealand. Sorry, Aussie Swissy New Zealand Swissy. Probably also pound Swissy for that matter. I don't know how many pips did it give in 2020? It gave us 300. Okay, cool. It's just that when you're sitting on Monday and you're seeing bearish trends or bearish kind of like candles, you're thinking to yourself, great. I love to see that. And if you see attempts to make higher highs on Wednesday, which is today, or higher highs attempts to make them today, is you're not going to take them. Okay. Emmanuel says, "My opinion is highly appreciated." I would say, I'm just going to say one thing, sir. You don't feel safe. Okay. I would argue. I'm not gonna call you bad names, but I want to call you in for a little bit of meeting of what is a bullish trend, and you have bought a bearish trend, uh, represented by the two EMAs here. When this one is below this one, but what 21 is below the 55, it's bearish. When we are making lower lows and lower highs, we haven't made a higher high yet. Oops, it is. That was a bit fat, but still, we're still making lower lows and lower highs. You haven't had a higher high since 14th of August. You're very early. You're very early on what you're doing. You are too aggressive on what you did. You're being punished because you have not followed what I would call normal trading procedures in your position, in your setting, in your statistics. That this might be the best trade you can ever do. Great. But if this is not supported by millions of times you're taking this trade before, then I highly request you to do a lot more knowledge-based, objective-based trading, or research. Find out what situations are you supposed to be trading, and be a bit more, tough on yourself. Not in a bad way, but ask yourself a bit tougher questions in terms of, is this a good opportunity? And you're like, yeah, of course it is, okay. The other tougher question is, would I even agree with me? Okay, I didn't. Would my wife agree? Maybe she didn't. Maybe she doesn't know. But my point is that when you're going ahead and doing anything in life, you have to do it based upon previous results that you can prove that actually works out. And then if it doesn't, it doesn't really matter what you do and what you trade, because why are you here? You have to get knowledge, right? So I would argue, and I would say that if I were to trade this, I would say higher high and higher low. Okay. That's easy. But it hasn't happened yet. And that's a very key thing in your trading. You need to see so you need to differentiate between what do you see and what has actually happened. Because I can tell you for pound yen, for example, there is a high here, right? There is a higher low. I can probably say, well, I should buy that one, right? Or I can say, Joe, buy this one. No financial advice intended. It's just that when I tell Joe to do something, he'll be like, "Hey, what's your statistics in that scenario, right?" Because if I were to say, "Why didn't you just buy down here? Why didn't you just buy down here? Why didn't you just buy down here?" And this is a whole other scenario than what you have, right? Because I would argue that the current situation that you currently have on euro, yeah, all euros. I'm not going to say that we're going to go lower, but this is your current situation. This is where you're sitting. Bearish trend in a range, and you don't know if you are able to go, if the market will go higher or lower. I'm just going to take a phone call. 2 seconds. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that's kind of the reality, right? So the reality that I'm trying to give you, very short, very long story, very short, is that when you are driving a car and you see a red light, do you go and drive anyways? It's not allowed, right? But you don't know if there was a police officer on the other side of the intersection. And then if you do like some people, as saying for a friend, and you go through that, and then the police officer starts running after you and want to stop you. Well, you have now made an offense, but this is the same thing. Is you have made an offense, Manuel? You have behaved badly. You should be fined. And how do you get fined? You get fined by having losses. The question is, do you recognize it as a loss? Do you recognize that you have completely forgot that technical analysis is a thing? And had you forgotten that fundamental analysis is also a thing? And had you forgotten that is also something called seasonality and sentimental? And I believe, just very easily and briefly, I would argue that a Euro Aussie buy is probably not the trade that I'm going to take first thing in the morning tomorrow. Point being. All right. Let me just do something in between. Hi, beautiful. Yeah, there might be something in the background then. Cool. So that's kind of like, that's just how things is, right? So for my pound yen pairs, hi Manny, how are you? Long time no see. So you're seeing the market making highs, you may see them making lows. You're wondering, like, is this gonna go higher? And I can tell you for free, like the price action at the moment on the yen pairs is all telling you, like, it's crazy out there. Like, it's not ready yet. Because if this was ready to go, poof, we would be making higher highs at the moment, and there will be no pullback, right? That we will be in such a situation that we will be in such a situation that you're just forgotten. You're just in a situation that you forgot to buy, or you didn't get whatever you wanted as a price, but it's not going to come back down to you. That's going to be the clue. And then if it does, well, woohoo, great, fantastic, good for you. But at the moment, the market's not ready. I've given it a reason for why it's not ready, and it will be ready on Monday, I believe, maybe Friday. But and if I'm wrong, I don't really care, because I can't buy current. Why can't I buy current? Because right now if I am right about my analysis, I am 150, give or take, potentially profits that I could, like 157 pips in loss that I could just buy. I don't need it. I don't need that. I don't need to be in 157 pips in deficit just because I couldn't wait for it to turn higher. All right. Is there any other trade plans out there? And then we can go over to euro, dollar. We have risen and rose beyond. Because I can just add that on new, because you have been here before. And then what is it now? Still 1.35? I thought you updated it, Joe. A legacy active buys exit. Emmanuel. And then we can go bullish barely. Yeah. So we already are at weekly target, and we have already gone to or beyond monthly target. So euro dollar as it stands today shouldn't move higher. But something that I believe should move higher is the S&P 500, and we're currently at 5,600. And I think we should go a bit higher. Does that mean that you are supposed to be sit here and buy things? No, we shouldn't be buying now, but of course you can. I'm not going to stop you from doing anything. I believe that there is profits going ahead if you already are in a position, but I'm gonna give you a proposition. The proposition is that we are currently around here. Where are we now? We are around Wednesday 19 as of last year. We're struggling a bit to go higher. And then we might have on Thursday a low, and then there might be another 5 or 6 pips, 5 or 6%, whatever. But the ultimate kind of thing, and you're going to come back at me like looking at me like a lunatic, but like now, if this is right, is that we are peaking soon, which is 2nd of September. And you don't sell it, and it doesn't sell off like you imagine it to be. Like, okay, cool. Because there's a couple of things that is important in this life. It is the election, the US this year, and it's going to have a very funny effect on the market. And for you as a trader, you're wondering, how do I trade in the election? I've mentioned it in various groups out there, but I can tell you for free that we are probably, I'm not going to say everything at all the time, but probably going to be on the same price in October/November that we were in September. That we're going to have a peak somewhere around 1st of September, and we're probably going to have a peak around 13th of September. Is that supported somewhere? I don't know if it's supported somewhere. I really like it to be supported somewhere, but that's at least my brain. Does these dates exactly do as we imagine them to do? No, we don't. But I can tell you for free that this one says 2nd of September. How would I know? I don't know. And then it says 10th to 11th of October peak, another 3rd of November bottom. Is that clear for everyone to see? Everyone saw that. So peak 3rd, bottom 24th. Did I say bottom 24th? 23rd, 24th. Peak 1st, bottom 24th, peak 14th. And then we're coming into the election. And then the election comes in, and it can be very funny. It can also be like a big drop like that, like negative 5% kind of wick or whatever you call it. And then, I don't know if this is going to happen, but I would imagine that we then are going to have one of the better end of year and spring markets I've ever had in our entire life. Like it would be. I don't know if that's gonna happen like it happened in 2020, but we are gonna have a release rally, and then this year we are having what do you call it? We have the cutting of interest rates. That's also going to happen to help the market. The only question is where we didn't have that in 2020 or in 2016, where we're cutting interest rates at the same time. That might make the stock market a bit more bullish, but this is still what I'm thinking. Because regardless of what the election does or says or whatever, it's still a risk, right? It's still a risk going forward. It's still not like straightforward type of situation, so that you are very much able to and very much available to make your own decision, make your own thoughts. I've just presented mine. Cool. We are 9 people or 10 or so. In the meantime, this is the current. Okay. And we're probably going to go higher, but that's all. So for those who did buy S&P 500, yeah, very much welcome. Even those who bought 1st of August, you are actually also in profit. So whatever you bought this year, kind of thing, like, so whoever bought, like, just bought this month doesn't really matter about price action. Even those are in profit this month. So it is what it is. So let's look for some trades that I can do. S&P 500 dollar index bearish, euro 2 bullish, Aussie 2 bullish, pound 2 bullish, New Zealand dollar 2 bullish. Okay, question for chat. Why is New Zealand dollar and New Zealand Japanese yen at the same time? At the same place? Why is New Zealand yen so low compared to New Zealand dollar? Somebody give me a good answer there. Would be appreciated. Yeah. Or New Zealand Swayze for that matter. Or New Zealand cat. Okay, New Zealand cat is actually in the right direction, actually. Okay, cool. And I said come back up to there and then fall. Okay, I did. So halfway at least. The reason why New Zealand yen and New Zealand dollar, US dollar, is different is that there's difference in monetary policy. There is a large fall, and it was the unwind, or it still is, but unwinding of carriage rates. And what I'm also seeing is that this one isn't ready to pop yet. And why did the other one pop and this one didn't? Is because whatever happened here on dollar is not happening on yen. So those are two different driving forces that is currently in the market. Let's see if I can find. Nope. What am I looking for? I was looking for New Zealand yen, US dollar. Oh yeah, I was looking for retail sentiment. Sorry. I'm thinking ahead before I'm doing something, and then we have this one. New Zealand yen, I said. Oh, it's not there. Okay. Can we do New Zealand dollar? Can we do also yen and Australian dollar? The thing is with where markets are very funny is that this market here with Australian dollar is that it has that's Japanese yen. With Australian dollar, where price has really rocketed, people have or retails has really sold it off from like 85. And then for the Australian dollar, Japanese yen, we are still at 60. We're still quite high, right? So when were we at 60 last time? I don't know when we were at 60. We were at 60 a lot. Well, we were at 20. That's 80. So 20 in like around there, but it's still continued. And that's where people seem to be taking their losses because started to come in buy pressure, and then it started falling. That increased the buy pressure, and then it started falling more, and then increased the buy pressure, and then now we have found a bottom. It seems to have at least stopped the increase in buy position on the Australian dollar, Japanese yen, which is quite funny, I would argue. But on the other side, for euro yen, I guess if we pop above 164, I guess the previous high, sell pressure will start increasing again. And we will go down to extreme levels of oversold by retails, but that's kind of like that has to happen a bit over time more than it's currently happening. But or if that matter on the euro yen, you can see increase in the sell pressure as price goes higher. I just love it to see that sometimes, because it's kind of like Emmanuel earlier, like we have to really be boom, Rafael. We have to be in the same. We have to have a common understanding of what price action is, first of all, and then we have to have a common understanding of what Yeah, he can come back anytime. We have to have common understanding of fundamental analysis, and that's not easy. For retail to be like, oh, what are we gonna do now? Like, what's the deal? And then another one that you can kind of think of is what has the large banks done in lately, and it has heavily exited yen shorts. It has also added a good bunch of long contracts on yen. On the flip side, it had been starting to have some exiting some long contracts on Nikkei, exiting long contracts on Do, exiting long contracts on pound. But then you're looking here and you're like wondering, but I mean, if they exited long contracts, how on earth is this making new higher highs? And it has risen 340 pips. It is because that it's describing this fall. right? And now we are, and we really fell off everywhere, which was unprecedented. And then the funny part is, and the psychology behind everything that I'm gonna have a tackle on right now is that when we are trading, you have to ask yourself, is this rational? Okay, let's see. It is 10% on S&P 500. Is that a normal fall? That is 6. Okay. That is 10. Okay. 10 or 10 and 10. It looks like it. That's like a good deal. Okay. What about here? That's 18. Okay, that's a bit harsh. Okay. This one is 7. This one is 8 or 9. Okay, that's a bit harsh. That's 12, and overall here is 26. Okay, that is because of higher interest rates. Okay. But in the bullish trend, we fell at some point 6%, and sometimes 3%, and sometimes 5 or 6. Point being is that a fall of 10% isn't uncommon. Hello, Altaf. So it isn't irrational to fall 10% in kind of a risk off scenario. And well, I wasn't in my mind wasn't there. But I saw other people exiting S&P 500 like, oh, this is gonna fall. When you are run by fear, when you are run by emotions, when you're run by the technical charts, when you forget that there is a world out there that is, well, let me say, a bit more, a bit more relaxing. And then what does the news now tell? Hello, Lamrain. Happy to have you here. And what does the news now say? I can go to the better one in Norway that was very good at it at the moment. If I go and check the news, by the way, this is why you shouldn't look at news. If I look at news and then, okay, apparently I don't have the translation thing here, but can I like translate something here? No, nothing. Okay, so here it says 3 stocks that is currently struggling. And then yesterday, or actually, okay, this one says the stock is falling. And then because yesterday, this is like, oh, we think the super cyclist is continuing. And then it said yesterday about like this S&P 500 was like, it finally ended its rise, and then there was stock fall in Asia. Wall Street finally ended its winning streak, and you're wondering to yourself, where were they when they were the one calling, oh, it's the worst sell-off in history, or whatever they said, right? But where's your brain? Where's your kind of situation here, right? Your situation is we gotta fall. We got a fall. We got a better price, right? And it requires quite a lot of brain power and quite a lot of maturity in your trading. And I hope that most of you guys are in that situation. And I really hope that you are. As I'm just talking to deaf ears. Is that when things falls, like euro yen, hopefully by the end of the day, when you are in this situation, what is the high brain power trade setup? Where is your best possible entry? And I can tell you, like, I'm waiting for this one to come down, right? It's not on the chart yet. It may have played out previous years. And I can say, okay, if you buy S&P 500 tomorrow, if you go on like on a day trades mode, I'm just gonna make a fun of it. I'm just gonna say, okay, well, cool. If you buy, so that would be tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, next week, like every day. If you day trade every single day going forward, you probably make money out of it. You just put limit orders on CP, sim limit order CP. You probably will make money out of it. But there's no guarantee. It's just a theory. But you're buying highs. Okay. I guess that's that. Annoyed by the music today. I mean, why do Trump want rate cut? It's very easy. Why would you have rate hikes? The reason why he wants rate cuts is because he's pro business. Higher interest rates reduces activity, reduces profit for businesses, and makes it more difficult to invest and have bank loans that you can't service. So you want to reduce your financing costs. Now that's why Trump never got allegedly never got bankrupted, because he was too big for the bank to fall. So he had to make him a deal, but he defaulted on the loans. What's the connection between rate cuts and Trump or Harris? I've seen, I think it was Kamala Harris that wanted like some kind of stimulus situation for less income people. Yeah, so that's gonna make the stock market rise. But another thing is that Trump is, generally speaking, very pro business, right? Is very pro business. The only problem with Trump is that the market doesn't like him that much, because what we would call on it, Trump wants to change the conditions of the framework around how business is made, means taxes and stimulus and whatever. He wants to use that and makes it easy as possible for businesses, because he's being paid by those. But the other problem in that scenario is that we have inflation would go higher again. So, but also I think didn't he want to send home Powell or something one day? And the other problem with Trump is that he tries to at least interfere with monetary policy, which he's not supposed to be doing. That's not his domain. He's the president. He's not a monetary policy governor or anything in that direction. So that should be out of his table, because if he takes over the monetary policy decision making, I'm not going to say anything, but I think the market is going to react quite negatively to that, because you need someone who's stable and doesn't do anything unexpectedly. And to be frank, that is the name of Trump. And be unexpected, and then one day just fire people all of a sudden out of the normal. So in every case, I don't trade politics, and this is the only time you're going to hear me talk politics, by the way. The reason for going forward is that we are desperately want some kind of stability. So in this case, Kamala Harris hasn't been into too many scandals, and she's still, what do you call it in English? She's still forwarding the Democrats' politics, whatever those are. And then the representative at this point in time is controlling both the House and the Senate, so everything is landlocked. Like, everything is locked both ways. So the president is Democrat, can't get through anything because the Republicans are the one majority. Cool. Okay. Then we just don't have any change in policy. Then there is no policy risk because they just block each other. ECB slim is wheezy. Come on, president, don't dictate anything. Real moves are pulled from behind the scenes. Let's talk about what's obvious here. DXY about to shoot up because of structure or head and shoulders in your putter. The thing is, ball out. 88 is I don't care if there is Illuminati, if it's the Rothschilds, if it's what those people call nowadays, if it's I not Einstein, Ripstein, Weinstein, if it's Epstein, who is pulling the threads, doesn't really matter to me. What matters to me is their policy. Um, Trump's has outbursts, whatever, if you like it or not. That is a risk to the market, regardless. And by another day, it depends. It doesn't. Also, if you look at what is happening at the moment in the markets, is that markets going higher, S&P is going higher. That's what matters. And I believe it's going to peak 1st of September. That's what matters to me. And then you can talk about all these other things, but the thing is, there's a risk about the election that we can have either candidate. And frankly, to be honest with you, it's probably both of them are probably good enough to be presidents. I would be a bit more worried if it was Biden, but both of them are probably capable of being president, as long as they can keep them alive, and that's what matters. You know, they are going to have outbursts. He's going to talk about wanting to leave NATO. He's going to talk about pulling troops out of, I don't know, Africa. He's going to talk about everything that he can do to put destabilization in the geopolitics, because frankly, America is spending a lot of money on defense. They have taken the police role. Okay, if they want to pull out of that, okay, cool. It's going to be a bit more instability in the rest of the world. Then. Cool. But in grand scheme of things, as long as we're still kind of same thing in the world markets, cool. Are you looking for 25 or 50? I think 25 is good enough. 50 is a bit irrational. The reason why I believe it's a bit irrational is that okay. Okay, this is a funny email. I just got an email from Vips, which is the Norwegian mobile money things. And they said, update your Vips account for better security. And there's like green link thing to update your account. Do you guys think this is a real email? Or do you guys think that this is view in a new tab or something? That'd be great. Just trying not to show everything that I have on here right now, but cool. Like it says, for better security, update your account now. Our register shows that your account is not updated yet with the new security functions. To use VIP securely, please update your account and then follow instructions. Use bank ID, which is government ID. Go through and confirm all your account details. Complete any extra security steps. You are receiving this email because you have visited our site and asked about a regular newsletter. Okay, cool. I think I want to jump over that one. The reason why 25 basis points is better than 50 because we don't have crazily drop in CPI. CPI is 2.9, not 2.1. 2.1 would be 50. Cool. It's just slightly, and I think markets got ahead of themselves and put their head out of the water. And when they start seeing the sun again, and not having their head stuck in the sand, they will see that they have on purpose priced in very bearish outlook, and then they will figure out it wasn't as bad as we thought. This is a December situation again, by the way, people. Why it's all falling? What news can make it bullish? There's a lot of things, but oil. I can talk about oil. One is the risk situation. Iran never attacked Israel back. Easy beasy lemon squeezy. price it out. It didn't happen. I told you guys. You know, right? I told you guys, if it doesn't escalate, it's going to be priced out of the market. Secondly, August is bearish. Yeah, you can talk about structure for all that you want, Paul out. Thirdly, with all the who has posted the lower CPI? Merck has posted lower CPI. Canada has posted 2.5. Europe has posted 2.9. I don't know what is it. I don't know what the CPI is in China at the moment. Just going to double check that. Every kind of country that spends oil is posting lower inflation. And why is that? Because there was less demand, and then subsequently there was then less demand for oil because there's less money in the economies. So yeah, inflation rate in China is 0.5. It's all right. So everyone is posting 2 point something inflation. That is no longer 2022, 2024, whatever that thing was, 2023, 2022, where we had a lot of inflation. So there's less demand. Secondly, or thirdly, or fifthly, the risk sentiment is out. Fourthly, seasonality. And to be frank with you, then the structure made it that was a sell. So that's kind of why. I would argue that, yeah, those are kind of my main points. Lack of economic growth or slower growth in the world economies by inflation. Seasonality is low. Risk didn't go as we thought we would have. And okay, try again. Lower demand, seasonality, risk. What was the fourth one again? I don't remember at the moment, but can probably find more. And then I believe the rig count is also higher now, so it's just what generally tends to happen in August. Sorry, but yeah, we'll probably go higher again soon. Okay, we can go bait for some time then. But yeah, that's kind of why. And yeah, and then price action is bearish. That was the fourth one. Okay. Do you guys have any trade plans? Anything you're looking at? Anything you want me to go through? I have a couple of extra minutes. In terms of what do you want me to? Yeah, go through some of your trade plans. Go through what some of your thinking, what you were thinking. I have said I want to buy. Well, I'm going to say from next week, yen pairs and CHF pairs are going to go, in my opinion, quickly higher. That doesn't mean they should be buying now or anytime soon. I'm just saying that I'm expecting a new low to be printed today or tomorrow on yen pairs before picking up on Monday. And if it just goes higher from here, cool. But it's going to be very difficult to catch any pullbacks. Structure probably is going to be tossed out the window. And it's going to be somewhere around 200 to 400 pips on some pairs. CADS CHF. Okay. Let me double check that one. We have slower inflation, 2.9, or was it something yesterday? And to be honest with you, we are potentially, at least seasonality wise, going higher. That wasn't fantastic that year, but we currently have a low, which is very welcomed. Like, it's nice to be low here. And then I just want to go to seasonality, and you said cat CHF, right? Thank you very much, sir. Elections. Yeah. Also, we might have we are having a bullish outlooks. Great. So this is kind of like, to me, it screams wait until Monday to buy or look for a bullish something. We are currently short term bearish. You can probably sell if you want to, if that fits your interests. It doesn't fit my interest because we're going to go risk on next week. And the other thing is, or another point to this situation, is that CAD in itself isn't producing a lot of strength at the moment. So this is probably one that's going to be picked up lower. The only problem with this is that it's probably not going to be the one that is going to do the most pips next week. But yeah. Doesn't make sense? Do you like? You're welcome. But also, by any chance, by any means, it's a bit too low to sell it. Like, I wanted a bit higher to sell it, if that's what it is, if that was the case. But you cannot buy it. Well, of course you can. You can do whatever you want. But I wouldn't buy this one. Euro, New Zealand. What do you want to see here, sir? Who is it? Lumring. Okay. Cool. Range. Both are strong at the moment. UJ buys will be played when after the expanding triangle is done. 143, 144-ish levels. What's your take? So for Euro New Zealand, I would say we are in a low. I don't really have. Do I even have? Seasonality for you now? Bearish, actually, from 16th of August. Bearish then. Well, that's the election years, okay. Or from next week. 2020. 2020, and then it started falling off the chart. That would be 600 pips. Okay. Does that look like current price? Yeah, actually looks like somewhere on there. UJ buys. Triangle. Why? Triangle. This is a triangle. Like, I just want the price to come back down here, to be honest with you. Something like that. Support and resistance, ECP's lemon squeezy, straightforward, nothing in between. Expanding flat. Okay. Sure. I guess. Like, are you thinking this way, kind of? Something in that direction? Is that what you're thinking? Okay. Great. Okay, cool. Enjoy. Altaf says, I mean, seasonality for September, October is bearish for stocks. BTC, Ethereum, fall taking retracement looks like and continue to fall. What's your view, please? Yeah, I'll take that in 2 seconds. So yeah, I can do that, but I also want, I just want to buy 144, not flat, but I want price to be down here and on Monday, sorry. Friday, Monday. And then take it from there, to be honest. Like, oh, this one did not at least work at all. Okay. Just went into a range. 2020, okay. What about 2021? Did you work then? 16th of August? Nope. Okay. May not work then. 2nd of August? 10th of August? Bullish trend? Okay, 11th of August, but we haven't done that this year. 23rd? 20 July? Okay. Cool, I guess. Okay. Doesn't make... Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. It's all right. Something. I can see that. Something in that direction. I am scared of yen pairs long. Japanese yen looks like to be coming off daily pullbacks. Sure. But what did we talk about earlier? Can somebody tell me what we talked about earlier? What you're currently seeing on the chart is not necessarily present, right? Your perception is currently colored by the current price action. But we have to go beyond that. You know, we have to see above that. We need to be better than that, right? And when you're saying to me like, "Oh, I think that we're gonna do," or I think that like, if you say that Aussie yen, Euro yen for that matter, is bearish, short term, like it's like something, or about to go bearish or something. What is it? You are only seeing present. Wow. You are only seeing present. But that's not your job, mate. Your job is to be better than that. Your job is to be beyond that. You're better. Your job is to present a thesis based upon current fundamental, current drivers of market, where you're going to be pushed to. Correct, Lemring. Nah, it's bearish. Those are just individual economic differences between, different economic differences from the year. Because last year, 2022, probably New Zealand had like a very strong inflation, and Europe had a strong inflation in 2022. So it's just difference in economics. Okay. So when I say to you guys, let's talk about this one, for example. Altaf says, Ivan, seasonality September, October for stocks is bearish, and BTC and Ethereum, they fall. Okay. So Altaf is already into the future, right? He's already seeing, there is something that is about to happen. You said what? Ethereum, BTC. Do I have Bitcoin here, Evan? Do I have Bitcoin on this one? Bitcoin. Bitcoin, cash, crypto. Okay. Let's say it's bearish for September. It looks like it's bearish here. Bearish. 2023 was bullish. Okay. So if I say we're going to be bearish in September, and then I go to the current market, BTC, USD. Is this bearish? This is not bearish. Oui. This is not possible. We cannot sell here. We can look for something here, but we have to wait for September, right? So 2023 was bullish. So what about all the other years? Because we really fell a lot in August. I guess that's why we were there, but give or take. Cool. Okay, so that is 14th of August. That was the full start of 2022. Came into September and fell again. Okay. Then we had a very big drop, and then we dropped again. Okay, cool. So if you're going to expect this to fall like this one as current, you have to expect it. Because when it starts falling, if it does fall this year at the current time of year it does, if it does that this year, what kind of price action are you expecting? Seems like this seems to be a price action. That's normal here. And if you start buying now and it starts falling, you didn't do your research, right? So it's that one. So my view is stocks should fall first, third maybe. It depends on the day of the year. Second or third should be peak S&P 500. I'm just gonna tell that to Nick, by the way. Does anyone can do that today? Just bombard him like, Ivan says peak S&P 500, 2nd September. But yeah, that makes sense. So seasonality works by there is a set of situationships that happens at the same time every year. For the bears, it's kind of like right now. So what does it mean? What does it where does it come from? It comes from money moving in or out of something. Because why is money moving in August? What is drivers of seasonality in August? Can somebody tell me that? Or, sorry, guess. Hi, Jesus. Hope you're having a nice day. I'm actually doing quite well. It seems like gold is going to make a pullback to at least 2480 to continue to go higher. What do you think? I think that gold is supposed to go higher overall. Short-term volatility on gold isn't my expertise, so I would say, yeah, cool. This sounds like a good idea. As long as you are still catching the highs, catching the bullishness and avoid the bearishness, then I'm good. But I agree with the bullishness on gold overall, generally speaking. August, seasonality comes into play because we have summer vacation. Lack of money. And then when people come back to the trading desk, they put it into risk on assets again. That's my explanation. So yeah, I think that's pretty okay. So, and why would S&P 500 fall from September? Because traders are coming back now and figuring out I want to reduce my exposure to the stock market going forward because there's a risk coming out. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. So Raziel says, I'm scared of yen longs. Japanese yen looks like it's coming off a pullback. I know I had a rant about this 2 minutes ago, but I just want to say to you a couple of things. Is number one is today is the last day to get fundamental analysis comprehensive, which means meetings with me individually and group sessions for only $199, and that's only one-time price. And second of all, I just want you to have a bit of a breathe. Okay, think what is going to happen next. What can happen next? What is likely scenarios? What if I see red candles now? I see that on euro yen. I see it on Aussie yen. I see all of that. Okay, does that matter to you, or are you able to look at this? Or are you able to look at, okay, are we looking at 4 hour? Are we able to see that that's a pretty good support that has been tested before and we have bounced off there? Is when you do your technical analysis, when you're looking at the charts, did you have a theory of what you wanted to be doing before you went ahead? Did you see that going forward, you were like, okay, it's actually, I can actually see this one, maybe even potentially going all the way down here for whatever reason. I'd be completely okay with it. Because you were scared of yen longs. But what are you scared of? The uncertainty? The potential? I would be scared on euro dollar. If you guys are buying euro dollar today, I'll be like, I'll be sweating, and I'll be sitting in my chair and I will be in bed and be like, did he exit? 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 Because there is Jackson Hole Symposium on Friday, I think, for dollar. What if Jay Powell puts hot water or cold water down people's backs and says, "Hey, we actually don't think we're going to go higher. We actually don't think we're going to do a lot of rate cuts." That's going to be a big deal. But that's the risk. But also, Mark has already priced that in, already gotten the profit out of it, right? So if you want to trade now, you're kind of late to the party. Same thing with yen. There's always a risk of Bank Japan doing something, Iran doing something, Russia doing something. That's just how the game is, you know. There is no, we don't know the future, right? We don't know what's going to happen next because of those variables. I would call them black swans event. That's why you have that's why you have a stop loss. And I was told today that you are I would say to you that learn to live with it. Incorporate it. Say, I have taken the risk. I've understood the risk, but it's only going to make me scared. Okay. Well, it says support and resistance is the two most destructive concepts for retail traders. Do you know what the most destructive concept for retail traders is? RSI. And all those other patterns that they play. Apparently, it's very funny with ICT. ICT is also pretty fun. I don't know what they do, but they do probably something in that direction. Do you know what the most do you know what the most destructive concept for retail trader is? Is that they can gain a lot of money tomorrow without having any risk. So it is what it is. All right, people. I hope you enjoyed. I don't have much more to say. I have a meeting with the fundamentals group in give or take an hour and 5 minutes. And then I will try to post some fundamental updates in the group. Try is the word. Try is the word. I might not be able to do it because of time, because it takes too long time for me to do it. But there is that. So I have tried to find some trades today. Couldn't find anything. market is not really nice. Euro Aussie is not a really nice thing to buy, Emmanuel. Yen pairs, in my opinion, and Swiss pairs are supposed to have a low Friday or Monday, and then rapidly rise fast up to 2nd of September. And I also believe that S&P 500 is going to do the same thing. So have a great day. Enjoy. Don't do anything bad I wouldn't do. And I will start being live or having meetings in Discord very often going forward. So stay tuned. Boom.